Hello and welcome in this video in which we will discover 11 things rich people do that poor people do not. Talking about money in our society is still a particular thing, kind of a taboo, just like talking about its success, which often disturbs. Just try to ask in the middle of a family meal a little more about the budget of people around the table, and you will inevitably get disapproving looks. Moreover, wealth is also taboo in our society. Regarding the social differences increasingly scattered, a complicated economic context for many families, and a young generation disillusioned. Many are pointing to the rich and financially independent people. And yet, behind the apparent success, which often leads to a feeling of jealousy, we find most often unique courses and stories of people who fought to succeed. Stay tuned until the end because we will reveal some behavioral differences based on financial income. Just before, be sure to subscribe to our channel and do not forget to download your free book about financial freedom by clicking on the link in the description below the video. The lives of millionaires people fascinate, and yet many of the most distorted stereotypes are born from this fascination. Faced with the image of the jet set, the inspiring stories and the journeys of our favorite personalities, we continue to assimilate ever more opulence with wealth. We think that the rich consume everything without having any idea of what they are spending. It is thought that rich people think only of the immediate satisfaction of their needs, that they are indifferent to the societal realities of our world. We also often think that they do not deserve their success. But what if we told you that this is just a distorted representation of wealth? What if you were told that a lot of wealthy people owe their money thanks to their sacrifices, and continue to do so? In his book, The Millionaire Next Door, Thomas Stanley teaches us that more than 80% of millionaires living in the United States are considered as ordinary people. This number reveals the reality of a situation much more widespread than you might think. The one of billionaires who choose to live an ordinary life instead of living in a huge villa. Moreover, very serious studies have tended to highlight differences in behaviors between rich and poor people. For example, note that more than 75% of rich people do cardio training at least 3 times a week, compared to 23% for poor people. 80% of rich people make to-do lists, for just over 20% of poor people. 76% of rich people think that bad habits in everyday life lead to failure, against only 5% of poor people. 7% of rich people watch reality TV shows, compared to more than 92% of poor people. 63% of well-off people listen to audiobooks on their way to work, compared to less than 10% of the poor population. All these numbers highlight the differences in habits between the rich and the poor people, apart from social and cultural considerations, or even from the notion of capital. And this is only a beginning. Back to 11 things the rich do and the poor do not. 1. Set goals to increase your chances of success. Whether it is in personal development, in psychology, or in business coaching, they all agree to highlight the importance of setting goals. Rich people have perfectly anchored this habit in their way of proceeding, unlike those who are poorer. Setting goals for them is, and also according to various studies, a certain way to cause success, even to provoke it. Moreover, many people say that without a goal, it is very difficult to find your way and go anywhere. 2. Live according to your mean and not above. When rich people are questioned about their relationship to money and managing a budget, they all report the same thing. They only spend the money they have. Even more, they save on their monthly budget. Unlike people with fewer means, the rich do not spend too much, and they always consider the importance of securing their future before meeting immediate needs. A very inspiring way to manage your budget. Finally, rich people report consuming about 80% of their monthly income and investing 20% for savings or future projects. 3. Get rid of limiting beliefs. In personal development, we call limiting beliefs the set of thoughts and operating systems we got from our education, our past, which are in contradiction with our personality. A perfect example. I cannot start a freelance job. I'm not able to succeed. I'm too shy. It's a principle far from the idea that rich people owe their course to chance or their family patrimony. It is above all about paths that command respect, people who dare to have a try despite their fears. They have managed to get rid of their limiting beliefs, to dare to create, innovate, and simply become someone. 4. Work hard and harder. Rich people are undeniably one of those professionals who always do more than they are asked to do. It is, by the way, this strength and this unwavering motivation, determination, and perseverance that enable them to achieve all the goals they have set for themselves. So if when you see your boss each morning comfortably installed behind his big desk, you are filled with envy and an ounce of jealousy, say to yourself that a few years ago, he was probably the one who stayed in the office when everyone was gone home, for just one purpose: getting the best results. 5. Develop a network. Call in experts. Rich people have fully understood the importance of their professional networks, which is at the heart of their successes. Because if you want to succeed as talented as you can be, you will need to be surrounded. Your social circle has a direct influence on your success. To become financially independent, it is essential to get closer to the people who have succeeded in achieving similar goals as yours, so you can learn from their experiences. 6. Pay attention to small expenses. Again, stereotypes make us believe many things about the rich people. A lot of people think they spend money here and there lavishly. This is absolutely wrong. On the contrary, rich people pay attention to their budgets, their expenses, all their expenses. And to do so, even though they can cash several thousand euros each month, they do not hesitate to avoid spending unnecessarily tens of euros. Why? Because they know the importance of small, unnecessary expenses, which little by little become, by the end of the year on a global budget, thousands of euros that could have been saved, spent otherwise, invested. 7. Think long term. Rich people have succeeded, unlike poor people who unfortunately have to cope with the frustration of needs. They can see their expenses and purchases in a new way. That's why they are very numerous, to focus on long-term needs instead of wanting to satisfy immediate needs. You will rarely see a rich person spending his or her entire monthly budget in one day for fun. However, you will understand that they choose generally to focus on their tomorrow's desires, the long term that they want to build from today, even if it includes the idea of depriving themselves a bit on a daily basis when they could easily offer themselves almost everything. 8. Save and invest your savings cautiously. As we told you before, when it comes to their budgets, rich people usually save money. But instead of letting their money sleep in the bank, they choose to invest it in an intelligent way, and also take the time to study the possible investments. They avoid risky or very tempting investments and rather choose long-term investments, which often end up paying off. 9. A morning at the service of productivity. The way we start our day has a direct influence on how it unfolds. Moreover, various studies have demonstrated the link between good morning habits and improved productivity. And the rich people have understood perfectly this point and use it in their daily lives. Like this, they are very numerous to set their alarm 2 hours before they have to clock on to benefit from a useful waking up, exercising, taking the time to prepare the day, taking a good breakfast. So many gestures that can seem trivial, but yet seem to be, for many, the secret of success. 10. Control your emotions and your words. Do you wonder what this particular habit can have to do with rich people's success? Be aware that more than 90% of the rich people say they filter the words they say, and that they have learned to manage better their emotions. In this way, many of them have learned to get rid of stress, anger, impatience, or anxiety on a daily basis. So many negative energies that actually prevent us from moving forward. From this management of emotions comes a better self-confidence, which enables us to feel more able to take up challenges and move forward. When it comes to spoken words, especially in the professional sphere, rich people are used to pay attention to what they say. Why? Because they know how words can hurt a person and affect the dynamics of a whole team. 11. Avoiding toxic people is important. Let's conclude this overview of the 11 rich people's habits by the last one. their compulsion to move away from negative, toxic, harmful people. Well-off people apply this advice in their professional circle as well as in their private spheres. Why? Simply because they know that we succeed in the same way as the people who are around us, who guide us, and sometimes who advise us. In this way, if many rich people often surround themselves with a mentor, they also ensure that their colleagues, partners, friends most often have the same mentality. A study has also shown that more than 95% of poor people are in contact with others who are also in a financially perilous situation, when 86% of rich people have chosen to surround themselves with successful, even accomplished people. When watching this video, you are tempted, at least we hope so, to take another look at the rich people, the ones who have achieved financial freedom. Where many people are jealous and resentful towards those who succeed, you end up thinking differently about billionaires, millionaires, and you wonder about their career. We can quickly understand that success is not always, contrary to received ideas, a question of luck or family patrimony. It is also a question of efforts made to reach some objectives. The way to save some money, down to the euros, because of the dreams and hopes and the desire to reach them. It is also about looking at the daily good habits, those that impact not only on success, but also on well-being, to be inspired by them. Because if there is one thing to retain from rich people, something they all agree on, it is the idea that success can be provoked through efforts and perseverance. If you liked this video, please like, share, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. You are also free to receive the new book, 5 Steps to Achieve Financial Freedom, by clicking on the link in the description below the video.